Hi, beautiful people. It's a beautiful day again. Today we are making samosas. So we'll begin by kneading our dough. So in actual sense, we will need like 2 cups of flour, the 4 tablespoons of sugar, and a bit of oil, and of course water. So they are all ready. So we are going to mix them together, combine the flour, the sugar, and the oil together, and the water. Of course, rub the oil into the flour with your fingers until, of course, eventually we mix them together. Gradually we are going to add water and knead into a fine dough. Then we'll cover our dough for the next 30 minutes and let it sit. Then for the filling, of course, we'll actually do minced meat. So in actual sense, we have our minced meat. So there we have, you can actually add whatever it is that you want depending on the spices that you need. There are those who don't add salt, sugar into their dough, but personally I prefer sugar to salt. So then, of course, we'll knead until it is all nice. Then we'll put our rounds. Remember, they should actually, even as we roll in our dough into the circles, the chapatis kind of dough should actually be very thin. And then remember, when you put them in the fire, you actually have to just make sure that the side that is going to be inside is actually cooked, just one side. So you put it in the pan, oil your pan, then place in your chapatis, sort of like, but basically that becomes like where you put in your fillings, like the cover, so that then one side cooks. Then you'll keep adding onto them so that all of them are actually able to, you fry out your chapatis on one side, or the one that we are actually going to use as the wrapping in our samosa. Then now we'll go to our what requirements in terms of the filling. Of course, the filling is actually going to be made up of minced meat. So we are actually going to require onions. We are going to require at least six onions, a bit of cumin seed, coriander powder, garam masala, turmeric, and a bit of chili, and of course, clearly salt to taste, and of course, the oil to fry in our onions. Then a few fresh coriander leaves that have already been chopped. Then, of course, what we do is put in the heat. Then we'll add in our oil, we'll add in our onions. Then, after the onions, of course, clearly we'll add in our our minced meat. Then we'll add in all the spices that we have, just a tablespoon of all the spices, depending on your preference, depending on your taste. So then you cook them and then mix them together and let your minced meat cook for the next 30 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes, so that then under somewhat low heat, but you can actually add the heat. Then make sure that it is not soggy, so it has to be dry. Your minced meat has to be dry. Then to assemble the samosas, you will actually have to divide the dough into smaller balls, right, about the size of a golf ball. Then you roll each ball into a thin oval circle, cut the circle in halves to form two semicircles. Then you'll cut again, so that then you've cut your circle into 4 times. Then fill in the corn with the meat. Yes, you'll fill in your corn into the meat, leaving, of course, a little space at the top, so that then you can add, or you can actually add in your filling or your meat. So what you will do is take in the meat, and then you'll keep adding on to, make sure that you have, before you can actually add your meat to the semicircle, and you roll it, or you place it into a corn. You have mixed a bit of flour that looks like pancake flour, which becomes like your glue. Yeah, your glue in quotes, but basically seals your corn so that your filling doesn't fall off the oil. So you'll fill in the corn with your minced meat, of course, leaving a little bit of space at the top. Then you seal the top edge of the corn with the mixture of kind of pancake mixture into a triangular samosa shape. Then, of course, you'll repeat that continuously until all your dough is actually they become, you actually form triangular samosa shapes with your filling inside, right? Then repeat that and remain doing until the filling is finished and until your chapatis are done. Remember, you can actually preserve the dough even to in your freezer even for up to 6 months, but yeah, it depends on what you really prefer. Then you'll put in your oil into heat, into a deep frying pan, right, over medium heat. Once the oil is hot, you now begin to add the samosas in batches, right, until of course they are golden brown and crispy on all sides, and then you'll keep turning them occasionally, removing with of course a slotted spoon, and drain on paper towel. Then you'll actually be able to place that in your bowl, and you can see it nice, and you can see it is your triangular samosa shaped, which of course have become very crispy and very tasty. Depends on your taste, but clearly, and then you can serve your samosas with tea, you can serve with milk, whatever your preference clearly is. So clearly these are things you can enjoy. You can enjoy your homemade samosas, and it is a very easy dish to do. You can do even with sauce of your choice, depending on what your preference clearly is, right? You can do with tea, you can do with a sauce, and you can actually also do an option of even cabbages fillings, peas fillings, depends on your what your preference is. And so there, guys, is our amazing samosas. So they're all ready. Thank you very much, guys, for watching our channel. If you've not subscribed, please do. Bye.